Welcome back, Fanatic Addicts, to another high-octane episode of the Fan and Fanatic PepRally. So, without further ado, let's get into the first segment, Inside the Mind of the Fanatic. Father, take it away.
Yes, we've got some good ones. So, this first one, and this is just the search, right? I'm just reading these searches verbatim. So,
Yes.
you have to... Why is the game called the Rio Grande Rivalry? So maybe you'd give us a little bit of background.
It's pronounced Grande, thank you very much.
Grande. I was doing the gringo pronunciation, but go ahead.
Like, I don't know, because isn't Texas and... Okay, Dad, because it's...
Why don't we go back to the search? Why is the game called the Rio Grande Rivalry?
All right, so the rivalry between New Mexico and New Mexico State is called the Rio Grande Rivalry for some reason, which baffled the biscuits out of me, because... If I remember, I know geography, and I know for a fact that Rio Grande is in Texas and not New Mexico. So I was confused as heck. So, if anyone wants to tell me why, I don't know.
So you did the search, but you got no answer. I feel like all these searches I keep asking you about, that you don't get an answer. So you tell me you don't think the Rio Grande River could flow out of Mexico, perhaps someplace else?
It's named after the river. I'm such an idiot. If
I understand it correctly, the cities in which each of these universities are located are sort of like up and down the Rio Grande River, as well as a main highway that runs through New Mexico.
Why don't they just call it the Rio Grande River Rivalry? It's a lot less confusing than the River Grande Rivalry itself, because Rio
Grande, because that's how they refer to the river. They call it the Rio Grande.
But
there you go. Okay. This is one of my favorite things about your Google searches is they are painfully specific, right? You don't give the algorithm its opportunity to do its work. You want to know something very, very specific. And this one was specific. And I want to know if you got the answer.
All right,
ready?
Can we get... All right.
You ready? How far is the drive from Jordan Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana? Why are you looking for that? Did you get the answer?
So it just so happens that New Mexico State and Auburn play the same day, play in Auburn the same day that Georgia State and LSU play in Louisiana. And I believe the distance from Jordan Hare to Baton Rouge would be...
Did you just say Jordan Hare?
Jordan Hare, whatever.
Thank you.
Jordan Hare to Tiger Stadium is like 6 hours. So odds are, if the Auburn New Mexico State game is a noon game, and the Florida State,
Georgia State
Florida State
LSU plays LSU this weekend.
Sorry, you know what I mean. The Georgia State LSU game is a 7:00 game. If odds are, there's no way on earth that I would possibly get to that game, because a college football game normally takes 3 hours.
So I can think of a couple other reasons.
That would mean, number one, the Auburn New Mexico State game wouldn't end until 7:30.
Not if it started at noon.
I mean, 3:30 Auburn, 3:30 Eastern time, which would then, if I left then, like I said, I think the drive is 6 hours. So
I can think of one big problem.
I would definitely...
You know what that is?
I would definitely say that I would not be making...
But do you know what the big problem is? You know what the big problem? You don't drive. You don't drive.
Oh, so because you said you wanted to go to that game, so oh well.
Let me tell you something. If I had an opportunity to go, and I don't know if everybody knows this, I think we've mentioned it on the podcast before, but I am an esteemed professor at, I have to be careful, that probably means something, but no, I teach at Georgia State University, big fan of the Panthers, big supporter. I would love to go to the Georgia State LSU game in Baton Rouge, but if I go to that, I'm not going to the Auburn, New Mexico State game. I'm flying to wherever you fly into and staying. I'm not driving 6 hours from Auburn. Well,
wait.
Okay, hold on. We got to move on.
Wait, do you think that there's stop. Do you think that there's a direct flight from Auburn, Alabama, do you think there's an airport in Lee County where Auburn is, and they have what I'm saying, like, if only there was a
I know what you're saying, and here's what I'll tell you. There
What?
probably is, and you can't afford it, and neither can I. So the distance actually was 368 miles. So you're about right, about 6 hours. I think that's pretty good. We probably make it a little faster. Last one. A simple search. Just one name. Bob Whitfield.
Oh shoot. Oh man. I don't remember where I heard the name Bob Whitfield, but I think he was like a baseball player.
No.
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 Basketball.
No.
Hockey.
3 strikes. You are out. Bob Whitfield was a football player, an offensive tackle.
Wait, where did he go to college?
Stanford.
Oh man, I'm such an.
Do you know where he played most of his career, though?
No.
Let's think about it. Why would I even bring it up?
The Falcons? No.
Yes, the Falcons. Yes, he played.
Wait, for real?
Yes, from 1992 to 2003.
Okay, but
he played
I don't
for
know
the
how
Falcons.
I don't know how in the name of sense that Bob Whitfield came into my mind. I feel like
That's the point of this segment, so we're kind of losing it there.
I feel like I would. Oh yeah, wait, no. I think
Is there any connection to the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
No, I think
there is. There is.
We
You just didn't know that. There is, but you didn't know that. Okay, you don't have an answer for this.
No.
Let's move on.
I think I know what happened. I think Bob Whitfield is a radio host, and his show is syndicated in California, in a California radio station. And there was some and there was like a concert in Vegas, right? And so here actually I think I remember. So Sirius XM Pac-12 radio, I think they were doing a USC game or what, I don't know. But no, it was never mind. It was just an ad, but it was like, if you want to win tickets to see this concert, listen to Bob Whitfield, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
So I think that's it, or I could be.
That makes, and I'm air quoting, sense. Got it.
Wait,
okay.
Does Bob Whitfield host like a music show or a sports show?
I don't know, Parker. I didn't do the search. You did.
Okay, I'm sorry. Anyways, next segment. Sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm.
Just say it.
I'm in quite a tizzy today. Jeez. I'm not going to get into why, but all I'm saying is that I have a case of the Mondays. Everyone gets that from time to time. But anyways,
do they get it on Tuesday? Considering that's when we record these.
Okay, it doesn't matter. There's always that when you're once you when you kind of get jet lagged Monday morning because you have to go to work, but I don't know. Anyways, next segment. This week in sports history. You go first, partner.
Okay. I like this. It's kind of a two-parter here. So this week, back in 2001, Ashley Martin became the first woman to play in a Division I football game, kicking 3 extra points with no misses for Jacksonville State. Now, here's a little caveat. At the time, Jacksonville State was 1AA, still Division I, but AA, which we would now refer
FCS.
to as the FCS. Correct. Now, she kicked those 3 extra points, helping Jacksonville State beat Cumberland.
Yes,
71-10.
Okay, now, if I can I add on to that?
You may.
That wasn't the first time Cumberland got their butts kicked, but back in 1916, so Georgia Tech and Cumberland College played a game, and the final score was 222 for Tech to 0 for Cumberland.
A proud history of getting whooped. All right, now I said this was a two-parter because I felt like when I saw that I was like, that's awesome. But what about Division 1A? And
yes, Sarah Fuller.
Hold on. No, not Sarah Fuller. And so the fact that I found tied to one of your searches, and I was like, this is brilliant. So in the same week, 2 years later, in 2003, Katie Hnida became the first woman to score in an NCAA Division 1A football game as a place kicker for, get this, the University of New Mexico. How about that? Kicking against Texas State. Yes, kicking against Texas State University. Sunbelt.
Okay, and as for my fact, it's not really like I know that I kind of like that some of my partner's facts have been fairly recent, and I've been giving him crap for this. So, but I don't expect him to give me crap for this.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
many of y'all Atlanteans know about the Atlanta United, and I've never been to a game. And one of our good friends, Mr. Trevor Pellegrino, shout out to him. He has season tickets. So me and my dad went to the Saturday game versus the Nashville SC. And here's what went down. We waited in line for about 30 minutes in the blistering hot sun. We went to the team shop, got me a pair of socks. We sat down. The United scored like one goal in the first half, and then Goody Mob performed at halftime, and it just so happened that they also debuted a new kit, the 404 kit, I think. And so in the second half, the United scored 3 more goals, and I mentioned, like I said, I bought a pair of socks, right? And so I said, the lucky socks. Anyways, sorry that my fact isn't.
I don't think you actually explained how that is sports history, so let me tie that up in a little bow.
No, it's
Hold
history because
hold on,
it was
hold
my
on.
first ever Atlanta United match. Oh, and also, I guess it's kind of history because someone, like an Atlanta United player, scored their first goal. I can't exactly
Yes,
remember who
Saba.
it was, but
So there were 3 things, there were many things that went on.
Saba!
Hold on, there are many historical things that went on here. Your first Atlanta United match, it was the debut, so first time the team wore the 404 kit, which if you haven't seen that, Google it. It's really, really cool for those of us who are from Atlanta. And then Saba debuted with the team. So it was his first game with the team, although being signed back in like the beginning of August. And he scored his first goal, which was a heel kick goal too, which is really impressive. So many, many firsts there. So I love that for history. Very good. You gave a shout out to Mr. Trevor Pellegrino for those tickets. I'll double that or ditto that shout out. We really appreciate that. I also want to shout out someone who has been regularly sending you some really cool postcards as he travels all over, Mr. Thomas Bailey.
Thomas Bailey!
Yes, sir. These really great sort of old school postcards. Got one here from Roanoke, Virginia. And he mentions in the note here, call those podcasts play. So Omaha. Go ahead. Tell us what's coming next.
Coming up next, we'll be talking to someone even better than Mike Conti, better than Bob Kessling.
Let's not do that. No normative judgments here. No one is better. No one is better.
Not better, but like on a higher level.
No one's on a higher level.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay,
maybe more famous.
Okay. More famous than anyone we've ever had on this show. So y'all might want to. I suggest y'all tune in on Tuesday because you won't want to miss when we talk to the one, the only, the man himself, Joe Theismann.
Yes. Okay, now don't go anywhere yet because I have an addendum to sports history this week.
Addendum?
An add-on to the sports history fact. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when this episode drops, right, with Joe Theismann, in that week in sports history, something really amazing happens. Do you know what that is?
My birthday.
Your birthday, that's right. So wait, hold on. Let me say. So September 9th, Parker turns 15 years old. He shares the same birthday as our next guest, Joe Theismann. So that true sports history right there.
And it also just happens that I share a birthday with an NBA legend, like NBA player, but I can't remember who his name is. J.R. Smith, I think. No, Kyrie, sorry. Anyways, but
I, if you're curious, share a birthday with Mary Lou Retton and Neil Diamond. So sweet Caroline on that one.
All right. Well, this has been eventful. One of probably the most eventful pep rallies of all time. And so, all right, well, so I guess that's pretty much a wrap. Game, set, match. Bye. Well, that was. Wait, I hope it wasn't rude of me to dog on Mike Conti and like that.
Did you actually stop it?
Yeah.